in ancient Greece who wanted to find out if his crown was made of pure gold. So he commissioned Archimedes, who was known to be this mathematical genius, to figure it out for him. Now, Archimedes spends days and days trying to find a solution to this problem and is not able to. Until this one day, as he's about to take a bath, he has a stroke of genius. He's so excited about the idea that he runs out of the bath completely naked down the streets of the city yelling, "Eureka, I found it, I found it!" So what's the moral of this story? And no, the moral is not to run naked down the streets whenever you have a good idea. Although if that's what you're into, I'm not judging you. The actual moral of this story is to take more baths or showers. Let me explain. First, you smell a lot nicer. Second, and more importantly, it's the perfect place to waste your time. The shower is actually one of the few places in our modern day lives where we let our minds roam completely and absolutely free to explore, to wander, and ponder the many mysteries of life, like, what did I eat for lunch yesterday? Can there be multiple universes? I wonder why McDonald's doesn't make hot dogs. Can crop circles be square? You know, important, earth-shattering questions that we only get to ask ourselves in quiet places like in the shower, like in our beds when we're trying to sleep, like in classrooms when we're daydreaming, and since we live in Lebanon, every time we're stuck in traffic for 3 hours. The interesting thing is that the shower is not only the place where we ask ourselves these questions, it's actually where we get to answer them. So it's where we devise these theories about ourselves and the world. I mean, let's take a look. Why doesn't McDonald's make hot dogs? I don't think any of us would be buying that. But why is it that we actually tend to get our best and brightest ideas in the shower? There's an answer to that. In the 1990s, neurologist Dr. Mark Treichel discovered this interesting and very mysterious circuit in the brain he called the default mode network, DMN. Now, he realized that this part of the brain actually activates whenever all the other parts of the brain are at rest and the brain is deemed idle. So this actually activates when we're bored, when we're daydreaming, when we're taking a nap, when we're meditating, praying, even blinking. Since then, there's been a number of studies that have actually linked this DMN network to a bunch of things like better problem solving, better decision making, consolidation of memory and learning, like, for example, let's say, better creativity, spikes of inspiration, and heightened imagination. Some researchers actually tell us that DMN activation is necessary to keep one's moral compass because it allows for introspection and self-reflection. Now, how is that related to the Agora? Well, actually, let's think about that. The Agora was this place where people used to meet and get together and brainstorm and debate certain ideas. So it's basically where the Greeks waste their time. And the results of that wasted time, basic tenets of Western civilization as we know it. So you have things like math, philosophy, democracy, law, to name a few, which can all be traced back. Yes, not all were great ideas. Which can all be traced back to ideas the Greek thinkers had when they had a lot of time in exploration and self-reflection. So, how do we compare to these wise Greek thinkers? Where do we fare compared to them? Well, since the advent of industrialization, we have lived in a world that has increasingly been prompting us to be on the move, to be busy, to be efficient, productive, connected all the time. We live in a world where we're told that time is money, that busier is better. There's a study actually that shows that Americans, who are the epitome of this fast-paced modern day living, are a lot less happy than they were 30 years ago, all due to the decline in their social lives and to the increase in the number of working hours. Now, at the other end of that spectrum, you have countries like Denmark, who have brought down their work week and increased paid vacations for their employees. Denmark, ladies and gentlemen, the happiest country on the planet. Mind you, Denmark's productivity and its economy did not have to suffer for it. So it seems that we have actually built the society that exhorts us to always do more without necessarily telling us how to do it better. Does that mean that we never get to waste time? Picture this. You're at a coffee house, you're waiting for your friend, she's 3 minutes late, she's probably stuck in traffic daydreaming. What do? Right? You pick your phone up. You log on to social media, you start playing a game of something. Are those things a good waste of time? Will that actually have the same effect as boredom or as a shower on my brain? Well, if you look at it closely, a lot of video games have been actually linked to a bunch of benefits in terms of problem solving, in terms of learning and strategizing. But anytime you're going around crushing candy, hunting Pokemons, or trying to figure out how to slice fruits in the middle, which are all very important life achievements, your brain is actually engaged in a goal-oriented activity. So it has to problem solve, get you to the next level. So this does not look like the waste of time you do in the shower, like the exploration and the reflection you tend to do when you're daydreaming. So, but you're gonna tell me that, but wait a minute, when I log on to social media, I do a lot of aimless wandering. And you'd probably be half right there. It's probably aimless. It's just not a lot of exploration. Let me explain. Have you guys noticed lately that most of our social media outlets have actually evolved to be more geared towards our likes and dislikes? Let me give you guys an example. It used to be that you wanted to buy a book, you went to the bookstore and browsed around, you picked the book, read the jacket, said, oh, I don't like this one, picked another one, read it, I said, oh, maybe I'll buy this one, see what happens. Nowadays, what do? You log online, you try to buy a book, and what happens? As soon as you hit that purchase button, you, my friend, are doomed for virtual eternity to see suggested readings by the same author on the same genre. So my question is, where's the exploration in that? Let me tell you a story, true story. First time I buy a book online, log online, browse around, find this book with an amazing cover with a very intriguing title. This is a book. Needless to say that ever since, whenever I log on to Amazon, I have to be bombarded with suggestions of books written in equally bad English. Now, does that mean we're doomed? Does that mean it's over for us? We trapped ourselves in this society that runs on productivity and efficiency that's going to make us all less creative and less explorative? Well, not necessarily. See, as we're here in Lebanon trying to speed up our lifestyle to catch up to the West, there's certain people in the West that have actually just started to reap the benefits of slowing down and wasting time. So you have companies, for example, like Google and Facebook, who have completely revolutionized the way we do office work by adding things like slides, lounges, bars, nap rooms, meditation pods, all of which, by the way, have been linked to more creativity and problem solving and better work efficiency. Not to mention motivation and happiness at work. I mean, who wouldn't want to go to work, take a nap, and be promoted? So there's even some more, and this is where it gets interesting. You have countries that have taken this concept of mental downtime and transposed it into the educational field. Take the case of Finland, for instance. Finland, a few decades ago, had some of the worst ranked students in the world. And what they decided to do is they decided to cut the school week down to 20 hours a week, so that's 4 hours a day. Compared to here, where our students usually get 7 or 8 hours a day. Not only that, they decided to stop homework. So no homework, 4 hours a day at school. This is what happened to Finnish students. These are SAT scores. So Finnish students now rank as some of the top students in the world. Here's my point, and I hope you really take the time to think about it today. It's time for us here in Lebanon to get on this bandwagon, to actually catch up to this idea. Instead of speeding up our lifestyle, actually work on slowing it down. It's time for us to tell our employees to take some more naps. It's time for us to tell our kids that it's okay to be bored. They don't have to be connected all the time. It's time for us to slow down and smell the roses once in a while, because we're going to be happier, healthier, more productive, and more creative. So, thank you. So the next time your mom, your dad, or your slightly annoying supervisor tells you to stop wasting time, tell them to leave you alone. Who knows, you might be this close to running down the street yelling, "Eureka, I found it." Just maybe try to keep your clothes on. Thank you.